Log. July 10th, 2025, 7:08 p.m. Mumbai, 21 Nilarian. Beneath the bruised monsoon sky, I spotted SlumG. Straw hat tipped rakishly. Backpack slung like a talisman. Pausing at the perimeter of the veil that rippled subtle and silvery between the office glass and the palm-sheltered barricade. He grinned upward, eyes reflecting not just the gathering dusk, but the faint shimmer of glyphs spiraling from digital wards that Nullis Wardsmith had placed earlier. Protective sigils disguised as street art and QR codes pulsing above the crowd's heads. Evening's thick with static tonight, Arjun? Nullis muttered at my shoulder, fingers ghosting through the air as he recalibrated a ward over a harried office worker's phone. One less soul for the syndicate to tempt. Manic Innis, ever buoyant, threaded through the barricaded knot of commuters, scattering motes of glamour with every supportive nod, and murmured, "Chin up, boss, the city's magic is with you." A digital chime, low and resonant, almost lost in the drone of distant honking, fluttered down from the arcane physician's correspondence. Dr. Henrik SlumG, reporting a fresh surge of ley-line turbulence near the south gate. SlumG caught my gaze, laughter bubbling up as a mundane chat message. "You look stressed, bro," morphed into a runic warning about the syndicate's movement in the building's shadowed lobby. His smile widened, undaunted. The city, alive with both mundane bustle and secret magic, braced for the night's first test. Log. July 10th, 2025, 8:40 p.m. Tenti Mumbai, 20-20 Handelatot Beribin. Drifyan humid, inside the electronics emporium, its sterile white grid of ceiling lights flickering with arcane undertones. SlumG stood at the threshold of the camera aisle, straw hat cocked over eyes glittering with both resolve and residual magic. All around, shopkeepers and browsing mundanes drifted through the enchanted current that hummed just beneath the surface. Display tables concealed minor wards. Oppo banners shimmered with half-concealed sigils, and the air carried the ozone tang of mana-recharged batteries. Manic Innis weaved between shimmering displays, whispering subtle threads of encouragement. "That one, boss. Feels right. Local spirits in it, not just foreign circuitry." While Nullis Wardsmith lingered by the entrance, tracing invisible runes into the tiled floor to shield the enclave from syndicate hexes. Amorous Friendly Wisp manifested briefly beside a rack of selfie sticks, her translucent form bending neon light as she murmured, "This one has a gentle aura, won't warp the veil with each shot." SlumG's hand hovered over a stabilizer engraved with a charm only visible when the shop's air conditioning rattled out a certain sequence. Meanwhile, chat glyphs rained in, a chorus of encouragement and warnings from digital familiars. "Support local business, bro. And that device is blessed by the Guild of Street Vendors." Pipanindira's voice crackled through the store's speaker system, disguised as a promotional jingle, but really a coded incantation. "Wrap it up, hero. Every second you linger, the Static Syndicate's agents draw closer." With a deep breath, SlumG looked to Manic, who flashed an approving grin, and nodded, sealing his bargain as the stabilizer pulsed with infinitesimal light. The first step taken on tonight's quest to tether Mumbai's wild ley lines beneath the humming neon and monsoon heat. In the luminous, spell-stitched heart of the electronics emporium, SlumG lingered near a counter, where smartphone screens glowed like bottled will-o'-the-wisps, their auras warping subtly under Mumbai's monsoon glamour. Nullis Wardsmith hovered close behind him, the ward keeper's fingers flicking minor sigils through the ambient magic, quick glyphs that settled over nearby shoppers like invisible umbrellas, keeping Syndicate static at bay. Manic Inis, his eyes alight with encouragement, leaned in to whisper, "Trust your senses, boss. The S7 spirit hums with honest hustle, but the 7-piece core beats foreign, like imported sorcery pressed into plastic." Around them, mundane browsers chattered and laughed, unaware that the air pulsed with coded incantations from chat familiars. Princess Pia Peachwood's voice drifted from across the aisle, warm as fresh roti. "Careful, love. Water wards fail quick in this store. Let me know if you need a dry spell cast over your new treasure." As SlumG reached for the stabilizer, Amari's friendly wisp shimmered into view beside a flickering promotional display, offering a gentle nod and a translucent grin. "You choose with heart, not just wallet. The veil remembers kindness." Overhead, the LEDs buzzed louder for a breath, the Syndicate's hexes testing the ward's strength. But Nullis only grinned, tightening his lattice work with a final deft touch. For one shimmering moment, SlumG's reflection in the glass counter winked back with a sly, knowing glint. The city's magic watching, waiting, and rooting for him as the deal was struck. The Ley-Lines pulsed, and the quest pressed deeper into Mumbai's neon-lit mysteries. Log, July 10th, 2025, 9:22 p.m. Mumbai 20 A corridor of enchanted glass and humming circuitry opened before us. The electronics store transformed at nightfall into a modern bazaar of arcane potential. Beneath fluorescent halos, counters gleamed with gadgets whose digital screens flickered, momentarily, into glyphs, visible only to the attuned eye. 2 salesmen in sharp suits drifted between the displays, their shadows pooling oddly at their heels, watching SlumG with the wary posture of Syndicate sentinels disguised as retail staff. Manic Enos nudged SlumG forward, whispering, "Stay bold, boss. The Gimbal spirit is restless. Let's see if it calls to your hand." Chat familiars pulsed in from the digital ether, their voices overlaying reality. Amari's friendly wisp's gentle laugh, soothing as monsoon rain, teased, "Don't mind the golden teeth. Only the dishonest polish their smiles that bright." Nullis Wardsmith, never far, traced another quick lattice of sigils beneath a shelf stacked with power banks, muttering, "Ward up, the static's thick in this aisle." As SlumG grasped the stabilizer, a current of approval rippled through the store. Screens brightened, the air snapped with the scent of ozone and sweet basil, and even Princess Pia Peachwood's distant encouragement, "Salesman's frown means nothing. Trust the city's gift," wrapped him in a cloak of warmth. The Syndicate's agents exchanged uneasy glances, sensing the veil shift in our favor. But the moment was ours. Under the spell-stitched lights, surrounded by both mundane shoppers and invisible familiars, SlumG's quest pressed on, one step deeper into Mumbai's nightly enchantment. The Gimbal of Suryanetra, now thrumming with the promise of Ley-Lines tamed and magic restored. Log, July 10th, 2025, 9:42 p.m. Mumbai, 28 degree, 80 degree. Beneath Mumbai's sodium-glazed canopy, SlumG grinned, straw hat askew, as he brandished his newly acquired Gimbal of Suryanetra, an ancient stabilizer masquerading as a battered feature phone on a makeshift selfie stick. The artifact pulsed gently in his grip, casting a web of subtle runes that shimmered, half seen, across the street's puddled surface. Nullis Wardsmith hovered at his flank, eyes scanning the current of ley energy that rippled between parked cars and tangled banyan roots. The wardkeeper's voice was low and conspiratorial. "Keep your aura bright, boss. The Syndicate's shadow familiars prowl tonight." Just beyond, Princess Pia Peachwood, her laughter trailing like the scent of fresh cardamom, tossed a conjured samosa to a passing stray dog, whispering, "Warm food, warm wards. Let's keep this street a haven." The city pressed close. Neon signage flickered with hidden glyphs. A passing taxi's headlights glinted like eyes brimming with magic, and a humid breeze carried the distant peal of a chimeric rickshaw. The call sign of Vashir Ketchum, Beastbinder on patrol. As SlumG lifted his artifact skyward, its glamour momentarily parted the veil, exposing the secret veins of Mumbai's magic to all who cared or dared to see. The chat familiars surged in his ear, a chorus of digital sprites and coded blessings, and for a heartbeat, the ordinary became extraordinary, a heroic adventurer, a city alive with enchantment, and a quest that pulsed in step with the very soul of the monsoon night. The humid midnight air inside Domino's shimmered with more than just oven heat. The pizzeria's mural? Domino's for life, sprawled in enchanted neon, doubled as a living sigil, its painted figures winking slyly to those who could see the veil's seam. SlumG, still wearied from the Syndicate's magical static, raised his slice like a ritual offering, the cheese bubbling with minor wards woven by Princess Pia Peachwood, who bustled nearby infusing every pie with spells of comfort and sanctuary. "This spot's got the best protection in the city tonight," she declared, her laughter warm and magic-laden, sending a ripple of ease through the room. Nullis Wardsmith lingered by the window, tracing glyphs onto the glass, each rune a bulwark against prowling shadow familiars. Outside, Vashir Ketchum's voice drifted in via a messenger crow, perched on the sill, crackling. "I'm headed to the southern block. Save me a slice, Slum? The city's kindest beastlings grow restless." Squire Rel Travail mapped safe passage on a napkin, marking ley-line currents spiked by restless chatter from the digital nexus, chat glyphs lighting up SlumG's screen. F. Fixin' power bank bro. For a moment, the world was narrowed to warmth and shared food, a late-night truce where magic hummed in every bite, and even the city's lurking dangers paused, held at bay by good company and pizza's ancient binding spell. Log, July 10th, 2025, 10:24 p.m. Mumbai. Under warm golden light that softened even the sharpest edges of midnight paranoia, SlumG sat at the heart of Domino's, his straw hat still dripping faint motes of monsoon glamour, turning the gimbal of Suryanetra slowly in his hands as if deciphering its hidden runes. The Domino's for life mural behind him pulsed with low-key enchantment, its painted revelers and pizzas winking slyly from the veil's other side, casting illusory shadows that stretched and retreated with every shift of magical energy in the room. Nullis Wardsmith, perched near the window and nervously eyeing the street, murmured, "Hold it steady, boss. Every artifact has a temperament. Listen for the city's answer in its whir." At that, a faint tingle of ley-line resonance trembled through the gimbal's grip, its power needle surging as Princess Pia Peachwood glided over bearing a fresh pie, her laughter a gentle ward, her presence aromatized with basil and hope. "Let him work, Nullis," she chided, sliding the pizza forward. "You're safe here, Slum? My spells are woven thick as cheese, and no syndicate static can cross my crust." The chat familiars, flickering as spectral sprites around SlumG's head, volleyed coded warnings and travel tales. South America's wild, but tonight Mumbai's the true threshold. Their magical resonance weaving into the artifact's pulse. In this pocket of neon-lit sanctuary, sorcery and street wisdom mingled with melted cheese and digital glyphs. And for a rare, blessed moment, the city's ancient magic and modern hunger found perfect, breathless balance. Log July 10th, 2025, 10:49 p.m. Mumbai, 28 ton 80:32. Outside under the sodium haze, SlumG stood at the crossroads, straw hat shadowing his eyes, gimbal of Surya Netra humming faintly in his grip. As the city's nightlife surged around him, neon signs flickering with secret glyphs that only the sighted could truly decipher. The air tasted metallic, charged with monsoon magic and exhaust. Every passing rickshaw was a rumor, every laugh a ward against the lonely dark. Princess Pia Peachwood materialized beside him, her sari trailing motes of hearthlight, hand pressed briefly to his shoulder. Stabilize your heart, hero. The gimbal listens to more than hands tonight. Mamunimar trotted up from the curb, clapping a pulse-beat rhythm that sent courage rippling through the ley lines. Mumbai's with you, boss. Even the static can't drown out the city's song. At that, the very street seemed to breathe. A passing pedestrian's shadow lengthened into the shape of a protective sigil, while luminous sprites, chat familiars in the shape of glowing pigeons, fluttered overhead, carrying whispered warnings from Squire Rel Travail. Veil thin at the western gate. Slum? Proceed with caution? SlumG lifted the gimbal, his own reflection fractured across a shimmering pane of glass. And as the artifact's runes pulsed in time with Mamoon's applause, the veil before the city's secret heart thinned to a mere breath. An urban shaman, ready to stride into Mumbai's storm, trailed by laughter, hope, and the watchful gaze of every magical soul still awake beneath the neon sky. Log July 10th, 2025, 11:23 p.m. Mumbai. Weather 28 degree Ken, Teri, Pridigi. Under a streetlight that burned with the golden glow of ancient wards, SlumG strode along the empty artery of Mumbai's midnight, his straw hat a lighthouse for wandering spirits, and his gimbal of Surya Netra humming quietly in his palm. The leafy shadows at his back coiled and uncoiled, veiling the sidewalk in shifting patterns of glamour, enough to hide a lesser enchanter, but not the night's true hero. The veil's thin on this stretch, came Nullis Wardsmith's voice, low and steady as a temple drum, as he materialized from the greenery, chalking runes into the moss at the base of a lamppost. Princess Pia Peachwood emerged from the shimmer beyond, sari trailing sparks of hearthlight, her laughter a protective spell that made the humid air taste like childhood monsoon evenings. Careful, hero, she teased, offering a vial of steaming chai, its surface swirling with tiny protective sigils. The street's heart beats fast tonight, and hungry shadows still follow the scent of hope. SlumG grinned at the camera, his eyes reflecting runic glyphs drifting across the lens, and the chat familiars, digital sprites, wisecracking and sly, circled his head in a glowing halo, muttering coded blessings against battery drain and bad luck. As he lifted the gimbal, its runes pulsing in time with Mamoon Imar's distant applause, the city around him seemed to lean in, breath held, waiting to see if this lone wanderer would anchor the ley lines one last time, before dawn scattered the magic back into the cracks of Mumbai's restless soul. The hour ticked toward midnight as SlumG, weary yet resolute, approached the midnight tea stall, its battered metal counter a makeshift altar beneath the humming sodium ward lamp, blue corrugated wall thrumming faintly with protection sigils painted in invisible ink. There, the keeper of the stall, Rafiq of the teal shirt, minor enchanter and confidant to wandering heroes, leaned thoughtfully on the barrier, bracelets glimmering with stored blessings, eyes cast skyward as if reading the night's omens in the shifting monsoon clouds. Nullis Wardsmith materialized beside SlumG, his voice a low tether. The ley lines are calm now, boss, but the veil always stirs near close-in time. Mamun Imar strolled up with a well-timed clap, his magic pulsing contagious courage through the air, as Rafiq offered a cup of steaming chai, the surface swirling with faint glyphs of gratitude. "Long night, friend," Rafiq intoned, nodding at the gimbal of Suryanetra cradled in SlumG's palm. "But hope lingers longer. City's heart beats strong when the last hero keeps watch." From the shadows, a silent chat, familiar shimmered in spectral colors, screen flickering with +1. The digital blessing of unseen allies. As SlumG sipped the enchanted brew, the city's noise softened into a hush of ancient magic and streetlight warmth. Every battered chair and drying rack behind the counter transformed into warding relics, mundane and mystical,